So today we will study about the concept of bending or flexural stresses in the beam. Now consider a beam AB. This is a simply supported beam. A पे आपकी hinge support है, B पे आपकी roller support है, and at point C there is a point load. So whenever some load act on a beam, we have already studied to how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram by simply taking reaction at point A RA, reaction at point B RB, that will come out to be W by 2, and we will plot the shear force diagram. And similarly, we will plot the bending moment diagram for this beam. So due to this external load, we will see that from point A to C and from to C to B, there will be shear forces. Now this is the shear force, this is the shear force from point A to C, and at point C the shear force will be 0, and from C to B again this is the shear force W by 2. Similarly, at point A and B the bending moment will be 0, and at point C we will have maximum bending moment, that is WL by 4. So whenever there is the external load on the beam, so due to this load there will be shear forces in the beam, there will be bending moment in the beam. So we will say that due to the shear forces, the stresses produced by the material to resist the action of these shear forces is called your shear stresses. तो इस shear forces की वजह से इस बीम के अंदर जो stresses आएंगी उसको हम बोलेंगे shear stresses. Similarly, the stresses produced by the material to resist bending is called bending stresses. अब इस load की वजह से material में this is the how your bending moment is changing from point A to C. तो bending moment आपका आ रहा है from point A, C and B, और इस bending moment की वजह से इस beam के अंदर there will be some bending stresses, और जो material होगा that will resist these bending moment ताकि वो deflect ना करे beam को, और जो stresses develop होंगी beam को that are known as your bending stresses or your flexural stresses. Now in this case let us suppose the load W is acting. इस load W की वजह से the tendency of the beam to bend will be like this. इस तरीके से beam आपका bend हो जाएगा. So there will be sagging in the beam, और इस sagging की वजह से अगर हम एक सेंटर में एक्सिस लें, so this is the center axis, जो ऊपर वाले फाइबर्स होंगे बीम्स के that will be in a state of compression, they will be shortened in the length, whereas इस एक्सिस के जो नीचे वाले बीम होंगे उन बीम्स में क्या होगी elongation. So these beams will be in the tension, या इन बीम में जो स्ट्रेस होगी that will be tensile stress. Let me give you the brief concept about tensile stress and the compressive stress. This is a beam, जो upper part था beam का या लोअर पार्ट था बीम का. एक में आपके अपर पार्ट में कंप्रेसिव स्ट्रेस थी, लोअर पार्ट में टेंसाइल स्ट्रेस थी. बट टेंसाइल स्ट्रेस वी मीन दिस इज ए बीम ए बी. जब भी किसी बीम को हम पुल करेंगे, पुल मतलब आउटवर्ड साइड फोर्स एक्ट करेंगे, तो टेंडेंसी ऑफ द बीम इज टू इलोंगेट, इसकी लेंथ इंक्रीज होगी, एंड द मटीरियल द मॉलिक्यूल्स एट दिस पॉइंट दे विल रेसिस्ट दिस फोर्स. तो मॉलिक्यूल में फोर्स आ जाएगी द इंटरनल फोर्स P, and these two forces will be equal. They try to resist this force until and unless the rupture take place. So these two forces will balance each other. So this internal force and this internal force is said to be your tensile force, or we can say this beam will be in a state of tension, and tensile stress will be the load, external load या internal forces, one and same thing, P upon the cross section area. The cross section area is B into D. Similarly, compressive stresses, जब भी हम beam को push करेंगे, push, we will try to shorten the length of the beam. The internal forces will resist this force, and this internal resistive forces divided by again the cross section area, that is said to be your compressive stress. So we say that whenever the bending take place, the upper fibers will be in a state of compression. Hence, in upper fiber, there will be compressive stress, and the lower fiber will be in a state of tension, and the stress in the lower fiber will be your tensile stress. और इस बेंडिंग की वजह से जो स्ट्रेस आएगी बीम पे, बेंडिंग मूवमेंट की वजह से, दैट स्ट्रेस इज सेड टू बी योर बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस, और ये हमेशा लॉन्गिट्यूडनल स्ट्रेस होंगी, और इट इज सेड टू बी योर लॉन्गिट्यूडनल स्ट्रेस. So this is the cross section of area of a beam. Its width is B and its depth is D. So we will say all the upper fibers, due to the point load in the simply supported beam, they will be shortened, and hence the stress in this beam will be your compressive stress. And all the lower fibers of the beam, that will be elongated, and hence the tensile stress in these beam will be your sigma T. The upper fiber will be in a compression and lower fiber will be in the tension. So this is the bending stress diagram. So at one point, that is, this is the axis about which the stress is 0. So this axis is known as a neutral axis. Neutral axis is that axis about which the stress is 0, or we can say neutral axis is that fiber which will neither elongate and neither compressive. So to proceed further, we will assume the bending to be simple or pure bending. That is, all the calculations of the bending will be on the basis of certain assumptions, and that assumptions will form the simple or pure bending. That is, load W is acting. This is the bending of the beam, and we will say only bending movement M is being taking place. That is, if we consider this beam, we will say at point C, center point, this is the bending moment, and if we take any other point, this is the bending moment. So at center point, this is the bending moment, bending stress, whereas at point center C, the shear stress will be 0 because shear force is 0. So we will say at point C, there will be only and only your bending stresses, and the maximum stress at point C will only be shear stress. But if we take any other point, like if we take this point, so at this point we will have the shear force, shear stress, as well as we have the bending moment. Therefore we will have the bending stress. So all the calculation will based on certain assumptions. So the main assumptions of simple or pure bending is that the transverse section of the beam, this section of the beam, at right angle to the plane of bending, remain plane after bending. यानी कि ये जो आपकी सेक्शन है जहां बेंडिंग हो रही है, अगर ये सेक्शन बेंडिंग से पहले प्लेन है, दिस इज द क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया, तो बेंडिंग के बाद, बेंडिंग से पहले और बेंडिंग के बाद, दिस क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया, दिस रिमेन सेम. सेकेंड assumption इज दैट जो भी बीम का मटेरियल है, दैट इज होमोजीनियस एंड इसेंट्रोपिक. होमोजीनियस इसेंट्रोपिक मीन कि जो मटेरियल है उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज जो है दैट रिमेन कांस्टेंट थ्रू आउट द बीम. नेक्स्ट assumption इज दैट we will take the same modulus of elasticity and tension and compression. अब ऊपर वाले पोर्शन में compression है, नीचे वाले पोर्शन में tension है, but we will take the value of modulus of elasticity, that is E, is same in tension and compression. Next assumption is that कि जो बीम पे जो भी bending होगी, that will be up to the elastic limit and it will obey the Hooke's law. Then due to all forces acting on the beam, the resultant force will be 0, which means that all the forces acting on the beam in case of pure bending, they will balance each other, and the resultant force, push or pull, that will be 0. Now, each cross section of the beam is symmetrical about the plane of bending. जहां पर bending हो रही है वहां जो beam की cross section है वो symmetrical है. Now loads are applied in the plane of the bending. Radius of curvature before bending is very large. यानी कि बेंडिंग से पहले जो बीम का रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर है, ये बीम का रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर है, और बेंडिंग के बाद तो कोई कर्वेचर बनेगा बीम का रेडियस, बट बिफोर बेंडिंग द रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर दैट इज वेरी large, and Next assumption is that beam is composed of several thin layers which are free to expand or contract, which mean कि ऊपर वाली जो layers होंगी that will contract और जो layer नीचे वाली layers होंगी that will expand. और ये सारी layer longitudinal layers हैं और जो stresses develop होंगी that will be your longitudinal bending stresses. Now we will derive the bending equation. We will consider any one small portion of the beam. Let us suppose this is a small portion of the beam, and A, B, D, C. In this part there will be compressive stresses, and C, D, F, E. In this part there will be tensile stresses, and CD will act on a neutral axis. Therefore stresses on this part or this fiber will be 0. So this is the beam before bending. At any distance y, we have taken a small strip DH such that AB is equal to CD is equal to GH before bending. So when the load W act, the beam will bend. So this part is shown here again. The AB, this will shorten to A dash B dash. EF, this elongate to E dash F dash, and this GH, the small area which we have taken, small strip which we have taken, that also elongate to G dash H dash, whereas CD remain CD. So this is the radius of curvature of this beam. जो आपका beam curve बना है इसका radius of curvature R है, that is from the your neutral axis, central axis, and theta is your angle of curvature. Now we will say what is the elongation in this beam, GH, that is the final length of the beam will be G dash H dash and the original length was GH. So the change in length of fiber GH will be G dash H dash minus GH. Now what is G dash H dash and what is GH equal to? Now we know that GH equal to CD. GH will be equal to CD, and the length of the arc, that will be simply, we will take equal to radius of the arc multiplied by the angle subtended. That is CD will be equal to, radius is R into theta, that is CD, and G dash H dash will be equal to, its radius from O will be R plus, it is acting at a distance Y, R plus Y. So R plus Y theta minus R theta cancel, this is Y. So therefore we will say the change in the length of the fiber will be equal to Y dash. And the original length was how much? GHCD. So we will say the strain, longitudinal strain developed in this small element GH, that will be equal to your change in length Y theta upon original length. Original length was your GH equal to CD, that is R theta. So strain will be equal to Y by R. Now the assumption which we have taken is that it will obey the Hooke law, that is stress will be proportional to the strain, that is your bending stress will be equal to strain divided by strain multiplied by Young's modulus of elasticity. So equating these two equations, we get that your bending stress upon E will be equal to Y by R, or rearranging sigma B bending stress upon Y. What is the Y? Y is the distance of fiber on which the bending stress has to be taken from the neutral axis. सिग्मा बी अपॉन वाई इक्वल टू ई बाई आर. यहां से जो बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस निकलेगी वो निकलेगी एट ए डिस्टेंस वाई, दैट इज ऑन द फाइबर जी एच. क्लियर? लेट डेल्टा ए बी द एरिया ऑफ दिस फाइबर ऑफ स्ट्रिप जी एच. इस जो स्ट्रिप लिए जी इसका एरिया है, एंड द फोर्स ऑन दिस एरिया विल बी हाउ मच? स्ट्रेस मल्टीप्लाई बाय द एरिया. So the stress will be E into Y upon R multiplied by the area EA. तो after calculating the force, we can also find कि इस force का bending moment इस point पे क्या होगा? Neutral axis पे. तो the bending moment at point CD will be equal to force multiplied by the distance Y. So this is the movement of this force about the neutral axis. So this will be E by R Y square into delta A. And the movement of the entire beam will be by integrating this. So the moment M, this is your M, So moment m will be equal to E by R constant, ये बाहर आ गए, integration of delta A into y square. So what is delta A y square integration? Area into y square. Unit will be meter 4 or unit 4. So this is known as the second moment of area or moment of inertia of that beam about the neutral axis. So m will be equal to E by R into I. So we will by rearranging, this will be equal to m by I equal to E by R, and we have already calculated that E by R equal to sigma b bending stress upon y. So by rearranging this, we got this equation: sigma b bending stress upon y equal to m by I equal to E by R, and this is your bending equation. In this equation, sigma b is the bending stress on any fiber at any distance y from the neutral axis. M is the movement of resistance. I is the cross-sectional movement of inertia of that beam. E is the Young's modulus of elasticity, and R is the radius of curvature about the neutral axis. So whenever any beam is given to us, load is acting on the beam will bend. Though we will find the bending stress in the beam at any point which is distance y from the neutral axis by using this equation. And in this case, this is the stress strain diagram, and the cross section of the beam that will vary. And I is a moment of inertia about this axis. Now if the cross sectional is, let us suppose, your I section, in case of I section, this distance and this distance will vary. So we will find these two distances. So about this distance you will get the compressive stress, and about this distance you will get the bending stress. So the distance which will be maximum will give you the maximum bending stress of that beam about the fiber, about this fiber or about this very fiber. Now one more term come, that is a section modulus of a beam. So by section modulus we mean it is simply the ratio of moment of inertia of a beam divided by the maximum distance of the fiber, these two fibers, from the neutral axis. If the beam is symmetrical, obviously these two distance will be same. If the axis is not symmetrical, by symmetrical we mean if this axis does not divide figure into two equal half, these two distances will be different. So the section modulus Z will be equal to I by Y. So we know that bending stress will be equal to my by I. By rearranging y को नीचे ले आए, जैसे m by z, that is your bending stress will be equal to m by z. जैसे हमने simple stress में किया था, simple tensile stress is force per unit area. In case of bending stress, it will be equal to, instead of force we will write on movement, and in case of area we will write on the section modulus of that area, and section modulus is moment of inertia divided by y. Or rearranging, your moment of resistance m is the moment of resistance, this will be equal to sigma v into y, and this moment of resistance will tell us कि जब भी किसी बीम के ऊपर लोड पड़ेगा, वो बीम जो है वो उस लोड को, जब भी बीम पे लोड पड़ेगा, how much is the resistance of this beam to this load, to this bending. So that is a bend moment of resistance, and that is directly proportional to your bending stress or directly proportional to your value Z. Now I will tell you how to calculate the value of section modulus for various figures. Consider a rectangular cross section. This is width is B, depth is D. This is the neutral axis about which the stress is 0. So area of this rectangular section will be equal to B into D, and moment of inertia about x-axis will be equal to BD cube. This is cube upon 12. That is the moment of inertia about this axis. About this axis, y-axis, the moment of inertia will be D into B cube by 12. And what is the section modulus? That will be equal to I BD cube upon L divided by the distance of the outer fiber, maximum distance of the outer fiber from the neutral axis. So that y will be equal to D by 2. So we'll get BD square by 6. If that is a hollow section, area will be capital B into D minus B into D, moment of inertia, outer minus inner, and Z value come out to be your BD cube minus BD cube upon 60. If the cross section of the beam is circular, shaft like this, shaft, diameter D and Z, Y value is D by 2, area pi D square by 4. In this case, your moment of inertia about x-axis will be pi D 4 by 64 and Z will come out to be your divided by your this value Y. This is your pi D cube by 32. If it is hollow, this is the area, this is the moment of inertia, and the value of Z, this come out to be pi D4 minus D4 by 32D. So by calculating the value of Z for various section, and other than this, we can also take the section as I section, T section, by taking the value of value of Z for various sections. We will say that the beam have the maximum strength, having maximum moment of resistance, that will have the maximum value of Z. जितने ज़्यादा Z की वैल्यू होगी उतनी ही ज़्यादा बीम जो है उसका मोमेंट ऑफ रेसिस्टेंस होगा. Now in this case, let us suppose in practical cases I have taken this beam, ये बीम लिया है, इस पे लोड W एक्ट कर रहा है, करेक्ट. अब हमें मालूम है कि बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस जो है दैट कॉन्टिन्यूसली चेंजेस थ्रू आउट द बीम. यहाँ जीरो है, यहाँ जीरो है, मैक्सिमम बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस यहाँ पर है, तो सबसे ज़्यादा स्ट्रेंथ बीम की यहाँ पे होनी चाहिए, यानी Z की वैल्यू सबसे ज़्यादा यहाँ होनी चाहिए. एंड Z इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू BD स्क्वायर. दैट इज इफ वी से दिस इज द क्रॉस सेक्शनल ऑफ द बीम, this is the value of D and this is the value of B. We will keep B as a constant. अगर हम बीम की साइड से विड्थ को कांस्टेंट रखते हैं, B कांस्टेंट रखते हैं, तो वैल्यू ऑफ द डेप्थ इट गोज ऑन इंक्रीजिंग. इसको हमने इंक्रीजिंग रखना है यहाँ से, ताकि मैक्सिमम बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस यहाँ पर है तो मैक्सिमम एरिया और मैक्सिमम Z शुड बी हियर. दैट इज Z इन दिस केस BD स्क्वायर बाय 6. तो यानी कि मैक्सिमम डेप्थ बीम की वहां होनी चाहिए जहां पर बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस मैक्सिमम होना चाहिए. सो दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ योर बेंडिंग स्ट्रेसेस by using this bending equation. Now you will try to solve the various equations and you will try to solve the various numericals based on this bending equation. The one thing more, that if we consider any point, let us suppose we consider point D. Now at point D you will have both shear stress, you will have both bending stress. But if you consider point C, at point C there will be no shear stress, we will have only the maximum bending stress. तो किसी भी पॉइंट पे अगर आपने स्ट्रेसेस निकालनी है, बेंडिंग स्ट्रेसेस, द फॉर्मूला इज द बेंडिंग इक्वेशन. whereas if we consider any other point, say point D, यहाँ पर आपकी दोनों stresses आएंगी and the total stress at this point will be, we will consider both these stresses and by more circle we will be able to find what is the maximum stress at this section. But in maximum numericals we will find the maximum stress, and due to bending at point C the stress will be only due to the bending. So the stress at point C, the maximum stress at point C will be your bending stresses. Thank you.